Imagine we've been planning a beach vacation for a long time. On the day, we wake up early to get ready and check the weather forecast to make sure the sun will be shining bright. But when we get there, it starts pouring rain. So why are weather forecasts still often wrong even though technology is so advanced nowadays? Okay, here's the thing. Weather forecasts are made using mathematical calculations, but the methods we have right now aren't fully accurate. This is because there are so many factors that affect the weather, like temperature, pressure, humidity, wind, and more. There could be dozens or even hundreds of variables that need to be considered, and they all influence each other. It's like a line of dominoes. If just one gets tipped over by a gust of wind, everything collapses. There's even a concept that explains this well, the butterfly effect. Something as small as the flap of a butterfly's wings in one place could trigger a storm in a completely different location. What makes things even more complicated is that all these factors are constantly changing. So if we go back to the domino analogy, imagine the setup of the dominoes keeps changing too, making them even more prone to collapse at the slightest disturbance. Maybe you've also noticed that weather forecasts from different sources sometimes give different predictions. So why does that happen? Well, the reasons vary. For example, the data they use might come from different sources. Some rely more on satellite data, which is more accurate at measuring temperatures, while others use data from ground weather stations, which are better at predicting rainfall. Plus, the mathematical models used to make predictions can differ. So there's no one source that's perfectly accurate. But what you can do is compare forecasts from different sources over several weeks and see which one is the most reliable. Actually, aside from all those factors, there's another thing that impacts the weather: climate change. It's making weather more extreme and unpredictable. So to make forecasts more accurate, we also need to account for climate change. Climate change can also cause a domino effect. For example, rising temperatures are melting ice in the polar regions, making ocean water fresher. This affects ocean currents, which in turn affects the weather in places far from the poles. For instance, winters in some European countries are becoming more severe. So, can weather forecasts ever be 100% accurate? The answer is no. No matter how advanced technology gets, there will always be a chance that the forecast is wrong. That's because the atmosphere is just too complex and chaotic to predict with math alone. But we can make forecasts more accurate by using quantum computers, which can process large amounts of data much faster than regular computers. So that's why we sometimes dress wrong for the weather, even though we checked the forecast. But actually, there's one more reason we might end up in the wrong outfit. It could be that we just misread the forecast ourselves.